is Sunday, November the 9th. We had woke up to some snow this morning, and but by now most of it's like all melted. Um, and yesterday we had our usual fall temper. No, it would be like fall temperatures, and then summer and then fall temperatures yesterday, and then today it was strictly winter. Total change of weather. Hence this. My hand is definitely feeling it. The change in weather. Tell you what, as you get older, this is just really bothers you when the weather changes. Especially when you have drastic change like that. Um, but I hope you guys had a super Saturday and a blessed Sunday, and altogether just a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Um, Today, I'm going to tell you some new things. If you have noticed, I put out some tutorials for some fun, easy projects, and they came from Single Crochet for Beginners, Cool Stuff, Teach Me to Crochet, I Can Crochet, and my first crochet book. And funny enough, this one actually was one of my first crochet books. When I decided to get back into crochet, which was several years ago. And the tutorials I just did recently, the last couple of days, was for this pot holder. Just a simple little pot holder. I did this coaster. These two scrunchies. I have tutorials for the scrunchies, and these are done. It's hard to tell because they're so loopy, but they are actually made two different ways. It's just a normal person. That's funny. And Roblox. Okay. And so yes, I made these scrunchies, but they are made with they're made two different ways. If you go back and watch my videos for the tutorials. And then this is a belt. And you have to add a button. You add a button, pair of buttons to either side, either one side or the other, and then away you would put it around and you would button it to wherever the length you need it. And it is a striped belt, and it has 4 colors. Good old Nightbot. Nightbot is there to help. Thank you, Nightbot. Um, so I have the tutorial for that. But what I am working on right now, and I'm about 3/4, well, a little more than half, but not quite 3/4 done with. I'm making a throw pillow, and what I'm doing is when you go to Wally World and get a new comforter set, and a lot of times they come with a throw pillow, right? Well, I actually have two the square throw pillows, and they also come with like the rectangle ones. Well, it's getting kind of old, so I decided to upgrade it and granny And out of this book, the Women's Day book of Granny Squares and other carry along crochet. Hi, Bon Bon. And I have decided to make the pillow, and actually it's pictured here. It's pictured right there. I'm making this pillow with, but I'm putting it over my own throw pillow. I already have this square done, and ooh, okay. And I am now in the middle of the second square. So I am at, just so you can see where I'm at. Here's this one. I'm in the, here's the first side of the pillow. And here's where I am on this one. So I'm right about at this point, and I'm at this row, and I still gotta get this row. So it's like 3 rows right here. And then I gotta do the 4 rows of this white, and then that side of the pillow will be done. And then I can single crochet them together and stuff my throw pillow on the inside and finish it. Yes, you finally caught me live. Woohoo! but but yeah, out of this old Women's Day. Oh, and Miss Carrie, the little Carrie, yes. But it came out of here. This is the pillow, and like I said, I've got this much done, and I've got this one, this side of it, where I'm at, right about here. So I still got 2 more rows, and then I got the white one to do. And I'm just putting it over top of one of my own throw pillows. You know, like when you go to Walmart and you get, you know, a new comforter set and they come with the throw pillows. Well, I'm putting that over my throw pillow. Can I weave? No. Well, not unless you call baking pot holders with that, like one of these weaving, because that's about as close I get to weaving, is using the loops to make a pot holder, like a little kid type pot holder. That's as close to weaving I get. But I do have looms. I have a blanket on an S loom that really should be coming off, and but I keep saying that's future Rachel's problem because I put so many other things in front of it. Just like I have a project for my step grandson that I started when he was in elementary, and he's turning 13 in 2 weeks. And so I'm hoping to get it done by the time he graduates high school, and he's in middle school now. So, because I keep putting everything else in front of it. And it's a lot. This one's a lot. It'll be a lot to do. But like I was saying earlier, for those of you that missed, if you go and watch some of my videos I just did recently over the weekend, I did some little tutorials from these little beginner books for those who are beginning to learn crochet, or maybe just want to hone in on some little skills. They have the single crochet for beginners. Cool Stuff, Teach Me to Crochet. I Can Crochet. This was actually one of my second books I bought for myself, and so this one was like the third. I used to get this one at the library like all the time. Then I finally bought it. And then my first crochet book, and silly enough, it actually was one of my first ones when I decided to get back into crochet as an adult, like several years ago. And beginning of this live, I was showing the tutorials I made for it, which was this little pot holder, and we have a coaster, a round coaster, two different scrunchies. I know they look a lot alike, but they were actually made very, very different. If you go look at my videos, you will see how they are made differently. And I have this 4-color belt. I used white, pink, light blue, and green. I still got to add the buttons. You could put 2 buttons on one of the ends, and then you just wrap it around you, and then you can place the buttons wherever you'd like. So that's that. But weather has definitely been affecting me because we had this huge change. We went yesterday from having fall weather to winter. Yes, I have been busy, Carrie. That might be partially why my hand hurts. Plus the weather. Also, if you watched one of my videos yesterday, I went thrift shopping yesterday with my youngest daughter. We went to 4 different thrift stores. We stopped and ate lunch in between the 4 stores. And because after the second store, she had to go run her own errands. But I found yarn at 2 of the 4 stores. And I'm putting you on TV so I can try and finish my sweater shawl for a Christmas present. You've been a busy beaver. Yes, been busy. Been busy. And I bought like a ton of yarn. I mean, a ton of yarn. And what was really kind of cool is one of the stores that I got the yarn from. The lady at the counter. Okay, I'm not wearing it right now, but I was wearing a yarn shirt. It says like yarn #yarn life, and I'm putting the yarn on the counter. And this is an older lady, okay? And I'm putting the yarn on the counter, and she goes, "Do you like yarn?" I'm just thinking to myself, no, I'm just buying it for no reason. But anyway, she put the yarn as I put on the counter. She's like, "Wait a minute." So she turns around and goes and pulls out this bin, and show me the yarn. And she shows me these 3 cakes. She shows me these 3 cakes. So yes, I did have to purchase them, but she shows me these 3 cakes, and I was like, "Yes, please." So I just added them to the pile. Yeah, you think? But I just thought that was funny. And if of course, if you watch one of my previous videos, a couple weeks ago, a lady from my daughter works at a retirement center, and one of the ladies that lives there, she was like, because I was wearing another one of my yarn shirts, and she was like, "Do you really?" It said something about crochet on there, and she said, "Do you like to crochet?" I'm like, "Yeah." Even my daughter was like, "Yeah." No, she was like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, really." And she was like, "Come upstairs later. I got something to show you." So I came upstairs later, and she was like, "Here, pick a box, any box you want." And I just blindly grabbed one of the boxes for her because she had, like, seriously, boxes of yarn that were still in the bags. There would be like 3 skeins in one bag. That's back there too. So I'll tell you what, I have had so much yarn. Maureen wants to see all the yarn. Do y'all want to see all the yarn too? I mean, I've already did like a video, and then when I was in somebody else's live last night, I was showing off all the yarn to them. There was a lot. Okay, I'm gonna do it. It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay. And it's gonna be a lot of crinkle. So I apologize. Oh, hang on. Where's that? Where's that? Ain't that? Oh, it got buried in my hook tab. No. Oh no, here it is. And one of the little things of yarn, there was a hook, and I was like really surprised. I didn't know that till I got home that there was a hook in there. It is a Susan Bates size G6 4 millimeter. I did not know that was even in there, and I was like, "Oh, that's a nice surprise." So I thought that was cool, and that's, I mean, it has a nice, it's got a nice little grip on it too. It's smooth, but it's like it's got a nice grip on there. I like that. Um, okay, and I haven't opened this up yet, but this just there's this little baggie of all kinds of yarn in that one, and this one has, this is the one I found the hook in. It has a couple of reds, a yellow, and a blue. We have a bright red, a purple, some of our real purple there, the brown, Savannah Easy Care Choice for Cotton Knits from Burnett. We got two white. Actually, I have a third white in another sack. Lots of crinkles. Lots of crinkles. Okay, and this other small sack, check this out. A full skein. Full skein of Burnett Super Saver Inspiration. True Red. Another full skein of Red Heart Super Saver. Bright Yellow. Somebody was selling a full skein. I couldn't believe it. Ooh, I like this white. It's got that silver tinsel in it. That's one that's still, I don't know if you can, if the camera is picking that up, but it's got that tinsel in it. Oh, and here's another white, that Burnett Savannah. So I do have three little skeins of that. And this yarn is like really, really soft. And it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's like a dark green. It's really soft. And really soft. Okay. That's just those two little bags. This is the great big bag from the one thrift store. From one thrift store that the lady showed me the cakes. Here's cake number 1. There's cake number 2. Yeah, I did hit the jackpot. No kidding. Cake number 3. So here's the 3 cakes together. Isn't that cool? Yep. Okay. Oh, and then I picked these up. You know, if I would ever decide to do like a temperature blanket or whatever blanket I'm working on, then I can put the colors right here and write the color of it and the name brand. Oh, check this out. This like kind of blew my mind a little bit. Of course, this is from This one is from Yarnology, and originally it was $2.99 in this, and whatever craft store it was in. But this thrift store was only selling it for $1. So you went from $3 to only $1. I saved $2. But still. There's those. Southwick Value Yarns. It's a 52% Pima cotton and 48% bamboo viscose. and it just says color lot color 23 lot 7826. But it's a purple. It's a nice little shade of purple. Yes, I did. Carrie the Yarny Elephant, and Maureen, and little Carrie on my live. Ah! Yay. Okay. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. There should be a fourth one. There it is. Now, these are old Karen yarns. It's Karen or Caron, however you want to say it. Karen Dazzler. They got 4 skeins, and the color is tea berry. So I have, and it does have a bit of, I do have 4 of them, and they do have, I don't know if the camera picks that up, but there is a bit of fuzz on them. There is a little bit of a fuzz on them, like a halo, if you will. And I also, speaking of Dazzler, I have a Karen Petite Dazzler, and it's a yellow, and it also has that kind of fuzz to it, a little bit of a fuzziness to it. Okay, like that halo kind of fuzzy. Okay. Then there's these little balls, and I don't know. I'm trying to decide if this yarn it's been chain spun or not, but I can't quite tell. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put my fingers in your face, but maybe I'm just looking at it wrong. I don't know. For some reason, they look like chain spun. Maybe they're not. But those they were all put together in one little baggie. And I have this little blue ball of yarn. Oh, and the thrift store that I got this in, something that I found like funny haha and funny weird at the same time. Okay, they have like those glass cases, you know, like you would normally put like whatnots in. They had the knitting needles and patterns, like sewing patterns, and sewing in like a thimbles, like the glass thimbles, and a lot of the knitting needles in this case. And I was like, why? And she said, because people hurt themselves with the needles. And I'm like, people all go around hurting themselves, purposely hurting themselves with the knitting needles? And I'm like, wow. Anyway. Oh, bye, Lori. Thank you for stopping by. And I have some cotton yarn, but this is more like the cotton yarn to make like washcloths with. Okay, and then lastly, somebody must have had somebody in the military that they made something for them, and this was the yarn that they had left. Make sure I get the colors together correctly. Hang on, give me a minute. Take a minute. Yep. This is called Mash, and the color Mash, and it's brunette camouflage, and the color is called Mash. And then the other color, which looks similar, that is also a brunette camouflage, and it is called, where's the color? Oh, Renegade. It's called Renegade. So here's the Renegade, and here's the Mash. I mean, like maybe somebody in the military, like in the army, or maybe it's for somebody who goes like hunting, and maybe they need a blanket so it'll blend in. I don't know. That's just my thing. Oh, and then um, some Red Heart Sport, and the color is Thyme, Thyme, Thyme. I gotta put everything back in. Yeah, yeah. A few minutes to put this all back in because that was a lot. Ah! Hang on. Things are falling out. Hang on. Oof. Okay. I was yesterday. I was my youngest daughter came over, and she crochets and knits, mind you, and she decided to shop my yarn. So she did. She didn't buy any. She calls it borrow, but she's actually shopping my yarn to make some other projects her own self. Because she's like, why buy yarn when mom's got all the yarn? In fact, my kids think that I have a problem. I think I have a problem. I have too much yarn because I'm not making it yarn as fast as I'm procuring it. Does anybody else have that problem? Um, you buy it faster than you can use it. Now, I showed this in a video too, not that long ago. You never have too much yarn. Yeah, I know, me too. I don't think you ever have too much yarn. This is the yarn that was freely given to me by the lady from the Time Center. And actually, my daughter took one of the bags of yarn, and if you go back and watch the video, you'll see it. But this is some Red Heart Roll With It melange. There's two in here, and this thingy inside here, that's a pair of scissors in there, and like several of these came with a pair of scissors, which I thought was really cool. And then this is Lily's Sugar and Cream. There is 6 in this bag, and she still had, I'm not kidding you, like 4 or 5 bags of just this color. Just this color! And they each had 6 bags in them. There is Inspirations, Brunette, Softy Baby, Cotton. There's 2 skeins of that, and a pair of scissors. It's like a white. I have, Brunette, Softy Baby, and it's lemon. And look, there's 3 skeins in this bag. Red Heart, Soft Baby Steps, and the color is lavender. There's 3 in this one. And I think the rest of this is Karen Simply Soft. Karen Simply Soft, and color is peach, light country peach. 3 skeins of that. Yeah, Karen Simply Soft, Off-White, 3 skeins of that, and a pair of scissors. And then this last color, I have six skeins of from Karen's Simply Soft. And the color is Bone. 6 skeins. Oh my gosh. Like, I was just trying to help her. Seriously, I was being nice and just help her get some of the yarn, because she was just like, I just need to get rid of yarn. I need to get it out of here. So I just blindly picked up one of the boxes and said, here, I'll just take this. And I did take this off of one of the other boxes, but that was all given to me. This whole box was given to me. That is just amazing. If you look at my YouTube, I did, within the last couple of weeks, I did create some new thumbnails and put videos underneath said thumbnails. Like the ones for my devotions and the one for when I'm reading the scriptures. There is some videos for, this was something, crochet surprise. This was like one of those monthly things that you got bought like a while back, like several years ago. And I have like a whole stack over here. So I make myself make these projects, and I'm gonna do tutorials on this. I actually have 2 tutorials because I went back and I remember doing them. I went back and looked. There's 2 of those videos, and I put them underneath this. So I got some more of these projects that are in these boxes coming up as tutorials. And there's even couple of Christmas ones that'll come up later. I'm not sure if we'll get to them this year, but probably next year. Also starting in January, well, if you have been watching my devotions lately, I've been showing you every day showing you these stitches from this perpetual calendar. Well, starting January 1st, I am showing you the tutorials. I'm doing tutorials on said stitches. And like today, it just says like it's using 2 colors, and it's a multiple of 4 stitches plus 1. And that's all the title they give you for each day is how many stitches or how many stitches plus this many. So those are my titles. Now there is a month where they actually do, and I can't remember what month it is because it was just a few months ago. They did motifs. So there is going to be a month of motifs. And there's going to be a month that just has some edgings. I know that's coming up. But yeah. So look forward to that every day of next year. There's going to be a tutorial on all these different types of stitches. At least according to what they're just giving it. I didn't know how else to, because they didn't have any real names. They just has such and such stitches plus this many, So, and I've already pre-recorded January 1 through January 8th. And so they won't be coming out until January. So look forward to that. But I am, right now, like I said, I've already done some tutorials on some little beginner projects. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Carrie and Maureen for being here in my live tonight. And thank you to Lori for being in my live tonight earlier. And I appreciate you guys as monitors. They had Nightbot earlier when I first came on, and Nightbot does do okay, but I like it better when I have actual people helping out. Yes, and I'm going to show them one more time. My latest little tutorials I did over the weekend, which was this easy little pot holder. It's nothing but single crochets with a little loop to hang your pot holder up with. Nice little pot holder. The coaster. And actually, there's another project that's going to be coming up that's similar to this coaster. Oh, my daughter is on. Hello, Desiree. Desiree, you just missed it. I was showing off all the yarn that I bought over the weekend, and I was showing off the yarn that I got from your sister's work. And I'm showcasing all the little projects, like the pot holder, the coaster. These two, these two scrunchies. Yes, they look exactly alike, but trust me, they are made differently. They are. Yes, they use a lot of chains, but the way that you put them on, like how many chains, and what you're doing. Like for instance, one had you to do single crochets all the way around, and then you made the loops. Whereas the other one, you just did a chain, and then you did a single crochet, chain, single crochet. So they are different. Um, and then we have this four colored belt. And I have yet to I still have to put the buttons on here, but you add the buttons, and then you're going to wrap it around, and then you can place them wherever you need them. So that's that. But the books that I am using for, and I'm going to be making some more little beginner projects. You know what? As a matter of fact, hang on a minute. Let me see if I Oh, don't want to do that. Um, yay. Um, our single crochet for beginners, and that's where the pot holder came from. And the next little project is called a possibilities bag, and what it is it's three colors, and then you use a chain for the handle. And it's nothing but single crochets. Um, there's gonna be a headband. There's like a bib, a hat. There's all kinds of little things in here. Um, Also going to do cool stuff. Teach me to crochet. That's where one of the scrunchies came from. And I can crochet. That's where another scrunchie came from. And my first crochet book, that's where the belt came from. And there's going to be more projects, little, like I said, these are for like the who are beginners, or if you just want to home in on some things, because there are a lot of these. There are some washcloths and more, and some coasters and cozies and pillows and hats, and there's some toys and some blankets, some bags, all kinds of neat little goodies. So be looking forward to that. Like I said, I've already done a couple. They are in there underneath there. I have to see if I added the. I don't think I've added the thumbnails for them. I may or may not have. I have to go back and look for these books. If I've done a thumbnail, I may not have done those yet, and then placed them in their correct. Place the videos in their correct thumbnail. Oh, thank you. Naturally pretty. Just wanted to pop by and tell you, keep being you. Oh, that is so nice. Oh, the penguin. I have yet to make this. I have yet to make the penguin. So I have actually made this, but without the face. But I have made this bag before, and when I made it using rug yarn. Um, Personally, sometimes for bags, I like to use rug yarn because it's It's got a heftier, stronger feel for the as far as yarn, and it makes the bag a little sturdier, in my opinion. Um, but that's just my personal. No, no, you're good. You're good, Bon Bon. Hold on. Somebody asked me how long I've been crocheting. Yeah, so you have to get back to basics. Yes, you do. Um, actually, I first kind of learned when I was a little kid, but then I recently started to get back into crocheting. Gosh, probably 20 plus years ago. um, I have to think. Probably more than that. Not quite 30 years ago, but it's been a long time. And I was just mostly getting books from the library. I have two notebooks where, because at the time, I was going at work and looking online for projects, and then I would print them off online, or I was taking, um, yeah, all your life, yeah. Yeah, plus. So at least, yeah, that's my daughter Desiree. She crochet, by the way, she crochets and knits. She gets to crochet for me and knit for my brother because my brother likes to knit. And and that's just two of the things she knows how to do. Anyway, um, I got lost what I was thinking about. Oh, well, anyway. Oh, I've been crocheting off and on like these past umpteen years. And so then I was printing them off and making copies from library books to put in the notebooks. So I know I would have the directions on how to make things. And then the last probably 10 years, I really got into it more. It was started buying yarn from thrift stores and or I'd buy it from Walmart and was buying books from Walmart and from craft stores. Um, and then last year I was thinking, should I start this as a channel? Because everybody on my family was like, you really should start a channel. You really should do this. And even people on in the YouTube world were like, yeah, yeah, do it, do it. So last year, about a year ago, around Easter time, I started a channel and gave myself the name Thrifty Crocheter. And I've been here as a channel for a little over a year, about a year and a half now. And I just love it. I love it. Um, but today, actually, I started this last night, and I finished. I showed this earlier. I have this side done. It's gonna. I have a. Okay, like I explained earlier, when you go to Walmart and you buy a comforter set, it comes with a lot of times it comes with a throw pillow. Well, my throw pillow was getting kind of old, so because I've had it for like a really, really long time. So I decided I was going to make a granny, because it comes out of this book here, the Women's Day book of granny squares and other carry along crochet. I'm making this pillow, and sure you can. Trust me, I was a chicken too. I got this side, and I started this side. So I'm right about here, and I got two more rows of the green, and then I got to do all four rows of the white, and then I'm gonna crochet it together, stuff my pillow in there, and then do the fourth side, and then it'll be all done. Um, so that one's almost done. Um, also, I'll still be doing devotions, and I have 3 devotion books that I read each day. One of which, Carrie the Yarny Elephant, just recently purchased online. It's 365 Days of Kindness. this one's really cool because every day it gives an act of kindness at the end of the devotion. Um, and then I end each, when I get done with my devotions, I end it with this cross prayer square. And I found this when I went to go buy yarn at one of the thrift stores. It was actually in with the yarn, and it comes with its own little prayer. And I actually have in a bag back here behind me. Excuse me. I found that pattern, and I made a couple of those, and I've made some that were just like a cross, and I wanted to write like my own little prayers on them, and then I'm just gonna kind of divvy them out to the world for people to find and see. Um, yeah, we need more kindness in the world. We certainly do. But the three books that I read, like I said, are the 365 Days of Kindness, daily guideposts for grandmothers, because I am a grandmother. Well, I'm a step grandmother. Same thing. And the illustrated words of Jesus for women. And this one I really like because the kid in me likes to color, and you can color the pages and put in stickers and sticker it up and do that kind of thing with the devotions. They have a picture for you that you can color if you'd like, or if you want to put in your own stickers, you can do that too, however you want to decorate it. I really love that. It is, it's fun. Um, but that's just something that I personally like to do. I think so. I think it's a cool book. Um, and it also has at the bottom of, uh, well, most of them anyway, the bottom of each page, they'll have like a little place for you to write your own little thing, whether it's like a prayer or you just want to add something to what they were saying or something, whatever you want to do. They have a place on the bottom for that. Um, Most of these patterns in this are, you just take the one page, but the one occasionally there are some that take a little more. Like yesterday's was a multiple of 8 stitches plus 4. It had 4 rows here, and then I have to flip a page for row 5 and 6. So it just depends on how many rows there is for the repeat. Some of these are quite a number of repeats. But there are some interesting ones coming up. But yeah, next year, I'm going to be doing those. And I'm way behind on the granny square, so I think I'm going to, because I do have thumbnails for those. I'm thinking I'm just going to save this aside for next year and get back into doing these again, because next week, I've been told that next week that there is a third box coming out on Veterans Day, and on that box it's going to have like various kinds of stitches on each square. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for that one to come out, and then we'll work some more on these. We need to do this one up first, get this one finished, and then we can start rocking in this one. I think I'm going to do with each box is after we get done with the box, then I'm going to turn it into a blanket, because they each have 50 squares. You can make a pretty decent blanket with 50 squares. Even if I try to mix and match them together, I mean, that's 100 squares. That would really make a huge blanket. I think 50 squares would be enough for a blanket per box, if you ask me. Um, oh, also, I do have a thumbnail for this one, for the different stitches. The one I'm working on now is, trying to figure out now, it's called Solomon's Knot, and I'm still not quite getting the hang of that one. So once I get the hang of that one, then I will put that video out. And then the other half of the box, because the first half was called Simple Stitch Combinations. The other half are called textured stitches. And so I've got the last one for these. We just have to do these. And what's cool about the second half of these, I know they show it, but they kind of give like an up close. See where the circle is? That's supposed to be an up closer picture of each one. So I think that was a really cool idea for them to do it like that. So that's another thing I'm start working on for next year also. But I do already have a thumbnail for this, for all of the videos that I've done on that. Yeah, that is very handy. Oh, if you ever get this, if you ever get it, make sh- they do have, no, okay, my mind's like still mixed up. Okay, they do have like the things for the U.S. and for the U.K. because UK terms and American terms are quite different. I know there is a book. Where's my book? I'm gonna go nuts if my book is in here. Yep, there it is. The Bella Crochet card deck, a pocket stitch library, and 52 cards. Keep that book handy because helps with the. It helps a lot with the stitches because sometimes it'll say you'll look at this page or that page of the book, and very important to keep that book and to keep it handy if you ever get this deck. Keep everything in the deck together in the box. That book is very, very important, in my opinion. Whew. You're still learning. Um, I know I can read a pattern in a book better than I can read a graph. And these Granny Square card decks, they do give a little bit of instructions on a couple of them, but they mostly have a graph that you are to follow. And for me, this is more difficult for me, but I am slowly getting the hang of reading graphs because I am also one that would rather that would rather you know say, look at here, look at the stuff that I need, and then read through the instructions and take it a little one step at a time. That's how I prefer to do it, is to read through. um, Now sometimes I can follow videos, but I mean, it's silly enough because I do like I said, I've already done some tutorials. But some people, when they do their tutorials, are so fast. And it's like, wait a minute, slow down, slow down. So you gotta stop, rewind. Yeah, sometimes the charts are confusing for me. But I am slowly getting the hang of it, very slowly getting the hang of reading charts. Charts are too difficult. I'd much rather read directions than follow a chart. But I am slowly getting the hang of it. That's why it took me so long to do these granny squares. And I kind of feel bad that it's taken me forever, but everybody learns at their own pace. Everybody learns differently. Um, but everybody learns differently. But I do have the tutorials for each of those stitches in that Bella Coco crochet deck so far. Like I said, up to about, we're almost done with the first half, and then I got to do the next half. Um, and I am already starting to do these ones that are for beginners, and then once I'm through with these 4 books, then I will choose something else. I want to choose one of my other books. Um, I haven't decided which, and I'm going to be making Okay, I don't know if you heard that, but somebody with a very loud, ruffly car just went by. Uh, the crochet surprise box. There's going to be some more videos on those and tutorials on those projects. Because I was looking through them. Some of them are going to be made with crochet thread, which is going to be, really got to look close. um, there, um, there's also some shawls. There is some hats, some pig primed hats. Hats. I'm just like, oh my goodness. There are some couple of Christmas ones over there. I'm trying to think what else was in there in these things. Oh, plant hangers. Um, like you crochet something and put it around your pot and hang up your pot. Like that kind of plant hanger thing. Um, that sort of thing. Those are all. I mean, that's just some of the things I know that are in there. I think there's a pair of slippers. Oh, there's one of the more fun ones for kids that I saw on there, and I yet to do one. There's an emoji. It's just a big. It's yellow, and it's like a little pillow thing. But like, you can either have it to be a smiley face or a frown face. You can do it either way. Or if you want to have one side be smiley and the other side be frown, and then you can show which side you want. How you're feeling, maybe. I don't know. I just think that one is going to be kind of fun when we get around to doing that one. And they're all, and I will tell you the name of the yarn. I will show you all the specs on the yarn because they come with the yarn and they come with the destructions, as my dad would call them. He never called them instructions. He likes to call them destructions. I don't know why. And I will tell you the size hook that I'm using. Oh, one of the things that I do, speaking of hooks, now when I do, if you go back and look at the tutorials for these, instead of using the proper size hook that goes with the yarn, and I call this bunny rabbit my play hook. And I use that to make to do the tutorials for these because it's a bigger hook, so hopefully you can see the stitches a little better if I'm using a bigger hook with a 4-weight yarn. And instead of being like well, there are some tutorials I've done where they're right here, like I'm looking at you right now, but I've been lately trying to do it so that the camera is over top of my hands, and so all you see is my hands. But you hear me talking about all you see is my hands as I'm doing the stitches. Does that make sense? So, except for when I'm doing the grannies, those I do believe I am using the correct size hook for those. Yes. Just like I'm using the correct size hook for tutorials for those little bitty projects and those little beginner projects. My favorite thing to crochet, other than the little projects that are in these books, Granny and this pillow that I'm working on. I also like to do blankets. I like to crochet bags and scarves, and once or twice I have made fingerless mitts. I've made headbands and hats. I've made purses and bags. Trying to think what else I have made. Scrunchies and washcloths. I'm actually working on 4 different washcloths right now. This is a huge notebook. You know who Vanna White is on Wheel of Fortune? Vanna is a very avid crocheter. and I don't know if she still does, but I knew she used to have her own, even her own line of yarn. I don't know if I haven't looked lately if there is still her own line of yarn or not, but there was, and there might still be at Michael's. I'm not sure. I haven't been to Michael's in a long time. Um, but anyway, I found this at, I don't think this was at a thrift store. This was probably not definitely not Barnes and Noble. Can't think of the name of the bookstore. Half Price Books. Anyway, called Vanna's Afghan and Crochet Favorites. It is chocked full of projects in here. And I took two of the pages out and I put them in. I had some of those page savers kind of things. I added them to in here, and I'm working on, because the two pages each had two different washcloths, and they're and they're big washcloths too. They're 12 by 12. They're 12 inches by 12 inches, so that's a big washcloth. And so I'm making all four of those. I don't know, to be honest. I don't even know if I have any of Vanna White's yarn. If I do, it's buried somewhere in this room. um, there are tons of projects in here. She divides this thing up so well. She has dolls and toys. There is For Baby, Rugs and Pillows, Bizarre Bestsellers, Timeless Treasures. There is a sampler Afghan, which I am seriously considering next year. Like an heirloom sampler blanket. I am seriously considering this next year. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. If I count right, there's 45 different squares here. Because on every page, there's at least two, and a couple of them, there's 3 squares. And they're all different. Hey, Nunny! Yay, Nunny, Nunny, Nunny! But I am seriously considering from this Vanna White sampler Afghan to have some sample of all these sample squares next year, and I'll make each square, and from that, you guys can make your own blankets. But I just want to give you, show you how to make these samplers, and you can go from there. Oh, okay. The next section is Afghan favorites. Next one is called Wonderful Wearables. Some of these, though, I don't know that I would do. Like, one of them was like this weird kind of necklace and matching bracelet. I don't know. And then we have Christmas traditions. There are some of these in here that I hope I'm able to do. Like she has angels and snowflakes. And that's one of the things that's always been in the back of my mind that I would love to do because several years ago, I can't remember if they were gifted to me or if I bought them, but I had bought some, crocheted ornaments and they got ruined. One year, I had this dog and we had a cat, and the cat decided to go up a Christmas tree, knock the tree over, and destroyed like ornaments and lights, and I had to go buy all new everything, and a lot of them got messed up, especially the crocheted ones. I was so mad and so upset. But I always think those are the neatest things. Okay, like y'all, here's the Christmas. Here's one of the Christmas angels. And snowflakes. And she does give directions on how to starch them, which I'm like, yay, because I wouldn't know how to starch them. Because I know you starch them somehow to make them stand up, and I've talked with other people before, and they said sometimes that they would use they somehow they claim if they bake them in an oven. I'm like, I'd be afraid they would come on fire. Oh, here's um, these are called pristine angels. I mean, that is just some lace work there. I mean, that is just. And these are called White Christmas. See, I would love, love, love to be able to do something like that. I don't know. And I know in one of these sections there's like a lot of lace work, and I'm not Carrie the Yarny Elephant, who is just number one in my book, and anything that has to do with lace. Carrie the Yarny Elephant is just superb when it comes to lace work. Like she's the queen of doilies. Carrie the Yarny Elephant is to me the queen of doilies. So, oof, sorry, don't mean to put my face in your face. um, but yeah. But I am seriously considering making a sample Afghan next year. Um, I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Get a lot of stitch work that I've never done before, which is going to be. There have been patterns that I've read, and I'm like, okay, what does that mean? What are they talking about? And I have to reread that same instruction like 2, 3, 4 times before I'm like, oh, that's okay, duh. um, but that's me. Sometimes you just have to, because sometimes instructions just don't make any sense. Um, for instance, one of the channels I like to watch, I think she just does she has her videos like once a week, is Just Vintage Crochet. Corinne from Just Vintage Crochet. And sometimes she does this, what she calls mysteries, where she just picks a number, and the number is whatever that numbered project is, or whatever it is. And there are a lot of times she has to she'll reread the same instruction line a couple of times before she's like, is this what they mean? And then as she's doing, does this look, no, that doesn't matter. And she'll frog it a couple times, and then until she gets it figured out. So I understand her feeling. Like I do that too sometimes with projects. If I can't understand, I have to reread it a couple of times. Yeah, what does that mean? Like, okay, for instance, like I was showing you Bella Coco's crochet. It has a card on there that shows U.S. terms versus U.K. terms. Okay, in U.S., it is a single crochet. UK is a slip stitch. US terms, a double crochet. UK, single crochet. US triple. UK, double triple or double trouble or something like that. So you have to be careful of things like that because when you're reading older books, or even if you got to make sure that the book is written in, because I actually do have one of the books that I was looking at. I'm like, oh wait a minute, is this in U.S. terms or U.K. terms? And I looking at it, and I'm like, oh, this actually is in UK terms. Because it actually said it right on the book, and I didn't catch that at first. And I was like, no wonder this project isn't making sense because it's in UK terms and not US terms. So you have to really uh, read things carefully. Um, and as we all know, size does matter because you have to make sure you have the correct size hook with the correct size yarn. That's very important. Projects will tell you that you need, like size H or size G or size I or J hook, and millimeters. Because what's funny is that sometimes you might be the same letter, but the millimeters might be slightly different from another one of the same letter size, but the numbers are different, which is another thing that makes crochet hooks confusing. That's why we have so many crochet hooks because they're all of similar nature. Um, oh, do do do. I don't think my daughter's on here anymore, but I had to pick on my daughter a little bit because, well, she made her own sweater, and it's amazing. It's got a big old eyeball. She made it for Halloween, big old eyeball in the front and big old eyeball on the back, and she has these granny things. But at one point, she was going to have me try to finish it for her, and she was like, and I asked her, well, what hook do you use? And she's like, I don't know, yellow. I'm like, yellow. Okay, I have this yellow hook. Yellow handle is in size L, 8.8 millimeter. This yellow hook is a G 4.25. That's this yellow handle. I'm going to call it's kind of a gold colored, like the H. If we call that yellow, kind of a yellow gold color. To me, that's yellow. um, I can't remember what size she actually used, but I think. Oh no, that's two. That's not really a yellow. But yeah, I'm like yellow. I think she ended up using like a I, maybe like size I hook. I think it was, or J. I don't remember. Um, but I just thought that was funny that she was like yellow. But the hook that she does use a lot because there's actually a slight bend in it from her using it all the time. That's her go-to hook. Her go-to hook. Oh yeah, see, Carrie wrote that G. Yeah, the G hooks that are 4 millimeter and 4.25 millimeter. Yes, that's exactly right. Um, in fact, there have been times where I'm looking at to see what size they need. You know, I might have that. I might not have it in this set, but I have that size in a whole nother set. So I go to that set to get the correct hook because you know sizes matter sometimes. Sometimes I can get away with either one, you know, 4 millimeter or 4.25, and be just fine, depending on what project. Like if you're making something, you know, small, like the little things I made, you can get away with either one and be fine. Um, but when it comes to clothing, you know, like making a sweater or a hat, gloves, then you want to make sure that you use the correct size, the correct size hook, and the correct size of yarn, because thickness of yarn matters. What weight they are. That's another one that sometimes, to me, in my opinion, is sometimes confusing because sometimes the same thickness in one brand could be, and you see another in the same thickness, you're like, okay, wait a minute, that's no way that's a 4, that's more like a 3. So that's another weird thing. They're kind of yarn is kind of like women's clothing. Because you know how you can have two pairs of pants that are both medium, but this medium is definitely not a medium. That's more like a small, and this medium more like a large. But this medium is definitely a medium. Okay, I'm sorry. I just thought about that. That just kind of popped out. I'm one of those weird people. Well, that's why I call myself a weird person. Who sometimes things remind me of a line from a song or a book or something else, or it just comes out. I'm like that. It's like, oh, as soon as I can think about it, it reminds me of something. It comes out. Um, Now I have so many whips that I need to get done. So I get them off the floor and get them. I need. My daughter actually does it right. She's the one that was on here earlier. Um, by the way, she actually wants to come on live with me, and we were going to yesterday, but it got dark out, and she still needed to go home. So, but she, yeah, see, Carrie agrees with me. Yeah, I find that some 4-weight yarns vary in thickness. Like Pound of Love is on the thinner side, and Karen is thicker. Yes, that's exactly right. And it's like nobody can agree on the same thickness other than it's a 4-weight or it's a 3-weight or whatever. It's like nobody can get on the same page. And the yardage too could be very different depending on name brand and all that too. um, because you could put two of them, two different brands together that are both, they look like they're the same size, thickness of skein, but then you look at the yardage and it's like, okay, this one has this much yardage, but this one has that much yardage, but they look like they're the exact same size skein. Why is the yardage different? Or even within the same brand, but like the yardage on a solid as opposed to the yardage on a striped or yardage on a multi, even though they're both 4-weight, they're in the same name brand, the yardage will be completely different. And I'm like, why? Why? I don't understand yarn companies. All I know is I love the yarn and I love to make things with them. But um, I was saying something about something else, and I forget what I was talking about now. It'll probably come to me later, and I'll be like, darn it. um, but it's been an hour and a half, almost an hour and a half. And thank you for all the like. I want you to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for all the thummies. I saw some of the hearts go up earlier. Thank you for all the little hearts. I appreciate those. Yeah, I have heard that too. That like in because there are some YouTubers in Canada that I also watch, and they talk about that there are different name brands of yarn that are only available here in the states that they can't get in the in Canada or even so. It's like wow, you guys are just next door and you can't get it. I find that. I mean, you guys are just next. You're our neighbors, and but yet you guys can't. You guys don't get the yarn. I don't know. Um, but like I said, look forward to more of the beginner projects. And starting in January, from the perpetual calendar, there's going to be stitches, and all it's going to say is another day, and then it'll say multiple of this many plus this many, because that's all the title they give for each day. I'm sorry, and it, but the little, but I'll show you this, and I will show you how to make it each day, and I'll tell you the size of hook that I'm using and the kind of yarn I'm using. And most of the time I'm using just a 4-weight yarn, just a generic 4-weight yarn. Yeah, I know that's funny that there's no title. It just says, literally says a multiple, like for today, a multiple of 4 stitches plus one, and that's the only title to give it. They don't give a name. They don't give names for patterns. It's like for a pattern of the picture. It just tells you how many stitches plus this many. And I wish they would have given much better. Now, when there is a month where they have, like I said, they have the motifs. Nope, nope, not even for the motifs do they give anything. It just says nope. They just go ahead and give you instructions for row and how many multiples and that kind of good stuff. Not even for the okay, but that's still going to be fun next year. Um, and looks at I'm going to try to do all these crochet surprise boxes for you between this year and next year. Still going to be doing devotions. Gotta have devotions. Now, last summer I did take a couple months off for some personal reasons because I had 2 deaths back to back last summer. A year ago, this past June and July, I had 2 deaths back to back, so I took those 2 months off for their anniversaries, their 1 year anniversaries this past June and July. Um, it's something I am thinking about doing tutorial on, but I have to go look up the video and write the instructions down. Um, there are some YouTube videos where they are taking CDs and making them into bags. And so I'm going to have to write the instructions down step by step so I can give you guys tutorials on those. And because he had this video had it's a definitely a man's hands because you can see the hair on the hands, so it's only man's hands making them. Um, and I mostly use CDs. I have a couple of times I made them bigger by using records, and not the 33s but the 45s. So I get the bigger record, the bigger basket. But because the hole in a 45 is so big, then what I did was I put a CD on top of the 45 record. That way you get the hole for the CD, but you still get the width for the 45 record. But something, and I tried to do it one time with a 33 record, but the yarn just would fill up the hole in that 33 record because the 33 record is such a tiny hole that I couldn't make a basket with 33. It's like I would have to drill a hole through the center to make it bigger, I think, in order for it to work. And I'm just afraid that it's going to unravel if I do that. I don't know. Now, a few years ago, I did make some Christmas tree wreath ornaments. Okay, like on a jug of milk, that ring that the lid is like attached to. I use that ring to make Christmas wreath ornaments. I did that a few years ago, and that was fun. I actually got that off of somebody up here in YouTube land, so that was fun to make. And I know somebody else also made Christmas trees with like the granny. I forget whose video I was using, but they used kind of like the granny square kind of to make the Christmas trees. I can't remember who had that video, but it was kind of like that. I don't know. Anyway, go watch all my videos thoroughly. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for all the thummies. We have 6 people and 12 thummies. We have twice as many thummies as we do people. That's amazing. I would take that all day. Thank you for everybody who came and said hello and gave me thummies. Thank you for being. It's been an hour and a half. That's the long time I've been on here. I hope all of you had a super Saturday and a blessed Sunday and a very wonderful weekend. Be safe this week. If you have snow, be warm, be safe, and be careful out there as you're driving around doing errands, going back and forth to work, taking your kids to school. Be safe, be warm. Y'all have a very great week, and thank you for being here. I hope you had a great weekend. Love y'all. Bye.